Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Bald Guy and the Fat Boy podcast. I'm the Bald Guy, joined by my buddy, the Fat Boy,
Roll Tide.
and it's been an awesome week once again, man. Sports just keeps giving it something to us, and we have to sit back and enjoy it. We tried to record last night. We had a little technical difficulty on my end. Sorry about that, Fat Boy, but
Well, I appreciate all your effort. So we're on there now. So let's just get at it.
yeah, well, what we did by waiting another day is we let the Rangers sweep the series against the Rays. So,
Woo!
what did you get to watch that? I didn't get to watch it.
Yes, I watched. I watched all of the game, the first game, and we looked real good. And then under the second game, I watched most of the game, and went back and watched some more of it that I missed. And our hitting, we're just our middle order of the lineup is just hitting the ball. Sittigers, Simeon, Young, and of course the two pitchers that we threw in that 3 game series, Montgomery and I'm gonna who through today. I'm gonna go blank. Anyway, they both did
Evaldi,
excellent.
Evaldi.
Baldy, thank you for that, ball guy. Yeah, the Baldy and Montgomery, they both pitched the ball wonderfully. And now I have to. When you're right, you're right. I gotta give you props. I saw a deal on Rangers Insider today that there's a chance that the pitcher that you said that could come back for the and I doubted you. Well, I heard today he had a good bullpen session, and there's a chance that we might get Scherzer back for some playoff if we stay in long enough. So uh, you were right on that. I did. I poo pooed you on that, and I shouldn't have. I should have just took you at your word and said the bald guy knows what he's talking about. Well, it looks like as of today, that could come to fruition. So we'll just have to wait and see on that deal.
Yeah, I think they're going to let him throw a couple more times. I'm pretty sure I saw it was like 50 pitches is what he threw, but that's huge progress from where he was. A lot of people had him written off for the rest of the season. Getting him
Including
back
me.
would be amazing.
Yes. So with that, that would really help us in the series going into Baltimore, going against Baltimore, and then with the knock on wood or whatever sports god you want me to pray to get us to the disastros. That's where I want to go because like somebody told me a long time ago, them boys are on the track and the train's about to come through. I want
Hey,
them.
hey, the Rangers, when they're hot, they can beat anybody in baseball. And
And
they
there
get
ain't
hot
nobody
for long stretches at a time, as we've seen.
There ain't nobody I like beating more than them cheating Astros. And and we ain't gonna get into all that right now. That's a discussion for a different day. But just suffice to say, I don't have a lot of use for the Astros.
Yeah, well, we are super excited right now because this is the first series win since 2011.
Yes.
And that is big.
And
We all remember what it was like to be a Rangers fan before
whew,
the 2010, 2011.
I'll put my antlers up for you. Gotta take you back. So they were talking about that today, the antlers. I show when Elvis Andrews and all them boys were doing that. That was so much fun. So I'm right there with you. It was so much fun. So let's make another run and maybe even a better run. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, you can only get one out better than we were before.
Well, don't go to talk about Nelson Cruz. You'll make me sick again. Just quit.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. You've been kind of under the weather. I'm glad to
A little
have you
bit.
back full strength over here. But no, the Rangers are going to be exciting for the rest of the year. Like I said, we've seen them get cold. You don't want to talk about that, but they can be as cold as any team in baseball or as hot as any team in baseball.
Well, right now we're coming off positivity. Let's just stay with positive until something changes.
Okay,
Uh,
you didn't want me to be the wet blanket over here.
you love all these Dallas Fort Worth negative Nancy's want to pile on about everything that can go wrong. Let's talk about what can go right.
That's because we're so used to stuff going wrong, though. It's hard.
Well,
It's hard to get
well,
out of your past, man.
yeah. Well, if you stay negative, you'll be negative, and that
Hey,
I'm
you
not
know
into
the
that.
easiest way not to be negative?
I have no idea.
Yeah, let them suckers win a World Series, and then we won't be negative.
Well, but you gotta start somewhere to get somewhere. My granddad told me that a long
We
time ago.
started, we won a series. That's all it
That's,
takes.
that's what that's what I mean. But as soon as we win a series, here comes all the negative.
Well,
What we
all
can't
I'm
do.
saying is if we'd played better baseball the last month of the season, we wouldn't have had to play in the wild card, and we
Why you
wouldn't be
but
starting
that's
at
all
2-1.
but why do you got all that? Why does that mean all you gotta say? Just say we won the series and let's go.
Because you have to be realistic about what you're saying. And had we played better baseball, we would
You
not
say
have had to play in the series.
you say realistic, I say negative. Tomato tomato.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, here's something we can be realistic about, and it's looking a lot better. The Dallas Cowboys.
Well, as we come off against the Cardinals to the to a team that I find better than the Cardinals, the New England Patriots. The Cardinals make us look foolish, and then we make the New England Patriots look foolish. So sometimes this team I mean, just think in the NFL, anybody can win on any given day.
Well, okay. So after what we saw them do against the Patriots, let's say that the three offensive linemen being out were a bigger problem than we probably thought it was against the Cardinals, and we'll just move on and chalk that one up. Learning
That's
experience.
Be careful, Charlie. That sounds like positivity. I mean,
Hey, you may
uh,
get me there by the end of this. You may get
yeah,
me there by the end of this
yeah.
episode.
Excuse me, ball guy. I would hate for you to. I would hate for you to lean toward the positive side of things as opposed to the negative side of things.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sometimes I think instead of being called the bald guy, I'll change my name to the wet blanket to where I want to make sure there's nothing too exciting going on.
Exactly. I guess. I just know sometimes I got to dig you out of that hole. You love to start burying yourself in it before we even get that far.
Yeah, but sometimes you try to already be at the mountaintop whenever we're just barely starting. So
Now, I won't disagree with that, but
I'll
let's
try to
move on.
even you out. I'll try to even you out and keep you. It's slow
Maybe
and
maybe
steady.
that's
We
why
ain't too high. We're not too low. Okay.
Maybe that's why it was a perfect combination.
There you
Yin and
go.
yang.
There you go. There you go. All
There
right.
you go.
So the Cowboys this week, who we got?
Sunday night, prime time football. San Francisco 49ers
We,
in San Francisco.
we get
You
a
talking?
chance to make up for the playoff game.
Oh my gosh. I want them so bad. I just all I ask, not to go negative, to stay positive. All I ask, if they play their best ball game, we play our best ball game. Nobody gets hurt. We just run the immovable object into the irresistible force, and whoever comes out of that football game is better. That's all I want. I don't want to. I mean, just let us put our best against their best and see who the better team is. If I could just have that, I'll be satisfied.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because we never get that. We go in there and we turn the ball over. We look like garbage. We just never get our best against their best.
well, we'll see if we get it this time. We see if we get it this time. I mean,
That's all I'm asking for.
see. I'm not. I'm asking for destruction. I want them to go in there and destroy them so bad that they have fear in their eyes when we see them in the playoffs.
When I ask for that, Charlie, I get the opposite of that. So I just want the best against the best.
Now, who's being negative?
And there you go. See, it just flops back and forth.
I know you got to be even keel, man. You got to be steady, steady.
Well, I'm going to bring up this next topic. We go off notes and we make notes of things we want to mention. Well, this next one is special to me because I have been begging, besides in the spring, to have something other than just dreary. I like basketball, I like Mavericks basketball. I like some other sports, but the spring league football has the XFL, which I am a team, which I am a fan of the current champions. This is the Arlington Renegades. See, that's my XFL hat. Yeah, I wear all these other hats. I wanted to show you that I have one of them too. I've been to the XFL game. I like it. Now they're merging with the USFL, and we're going to have live action spring football to help prop up the NFL during the fall. So kind of like a minor league system in baseball. and I'm very excited about it because I think that league has got some good innovation. The way they do replay, the way they do kickoffs, the way they do extra points. There is some great innovation that the XFL has come up with that the NFL would be smart by adopting. How many more times can you see somebody? I'm gonna do it. Look at me. I'm waving for a fair catch. I'm waiting for a stupid fair catch. That is the. I hate that rule. That is one of the most lousiest things that the NFL has ever come to. A fair catch on a kickoff. Somebody ought to get kicked right in the shin for whoever came up with that rule. That is dumb. Go look at the XFL model and model what the kickoff is after the XFL, and it's entertaining, and it doesn't take the fun out of the non-foot fun league. Quit
Hey,
overthinking it.
hey, quit trying to pretend like that's real football.
Oh my gosh. It is
Stop,
such
man.
it is it is
This is what we're
it
talking
is
about. You're
so
so worked up. You're so excited
yeah,
that
because
the
how
fledgling about to go, hold on, they're about to go under USFL and the XFL. We're going to merge. So, what are they merging for? So we can have one bankruptcy instead of two?
no, they're merging so they can bring up just like the NFL and the AFL did all them years ago. They're gonna bring all them teams together. They're gonna make a good
This is
product.
this
And,
is way
and
different than that. Way
all
different.
all I'm telling you is I have very high hopes for
Ah,
this league and what the innovation that they've already done so far and the innovation they keep on. Do you have any idea how much better their replay? The reason you don't know any of this because you didn't watch
it's
one
because
game.
I don't watch it. You're right.
Yeah, but that that,
This is
that
not real
makes that
football.
that does not make you right. That makes you wrong. If you watched it, you would know. You would be saying the same thing I am. If they would do some of this stuff in the NFL, the NFL would be better. And this is a place where you
Okay.
find
All
that
right.
out.
So what do you want to do? You want this to be a training ground for the replay guys and the refs or something? I mean, I've tried to watch it and the football at times is unwatchable. It's just
And
not
and
that entertaining.
and I've tried to watch all the NFL, and sometimes the NFL is unwatchable. So what are we talking about here? Let's just have some spring football to make both leagues better, and to take one from the other, and to keep on having football even in the off season. And it's a good idea.
Why don't they just make it a women's league? Why don't we just have women's football in the spring?
Just to hear yourself sometimes. I can't. I mean, sometimes
No,
you
we
don't
can
even make
have football. Hey, you're getting to watch football. It's great.
the first. I will be the first one in line that if a woman wants to play set up and play football with the men and can go toe to toe, I'm
No,
the
no,
first
no,
one in
not
line to
with the
buy.
men.
buy.
Not with the men. Just football, women's football. We have the WNBA.
Oh,
Let's have the
I'm
WNFL.
I'm talking about this. You're way undervaluing the all the things that how good the XFL was this year. You're way now the USFL. I agree, it was a little bit lackluster, but the XFL was good. I watched the entire season from the first game to the championship with the Rock and Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia being a female minority owner, and it is good football. You're wrong, Charlie, or a bald guy. You are wrong.
I didn't pay attention enough to it to know whether it's good or bad, but I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of people
Well,
just
but you
like
sure
me.
are on here. You sure on here trashing it pretty heavy.
Well,
But
I'm sure there's
give
a
me,
bunch of people out there like me that doesn't really know about it because
you
it's
know,
you turn it on, you try to watch it, and it's just so much different that it's tough to do.
ignorance is bliss. All I can tell you,
Hey,
because it's good for.
sometimes. So I'm just telling you, when it doesn't work out, because it never works out for anybody that challenges the
Well,
NFL.
me and you have. We've got our own stuff on side stuff on that. If it don't work out, you win, and if it doesn't work out, I win. So we'll get down that road when we get there.
Okay. Well, I hope it does, because sure, if they could put a good product out there, I'd like it.
Well, they did last year. Because
Well, I mean,
I'm,
is there any
I've
way
been
they could get is there any way they could get like practice squad players to go over there and be able to play?
There are, as far as I know of 27 players that played in the XFL. That don't seem like a bunch, but XFL wasn't that big. There are 27 players currently on rosters in the NFL as we speak.
Active rosters, like actually getting to play
Active, active 53 man roster, sir.
from
I looked
last
it up.
year, from
From,
spring ball.
from this spring championship season where the Arlington Renegades that I just right next door
Yeah.
where the Rangers play, where I've been to a game at in person, which you haven't done that. You don't watch it on TV. I'm telling you all the expert stuff you need to know. I do have a podcast. Uh,
Yeah.
so you got to be taking my word for this. But I'm having to argue with you as much as I am the customers or the listeners.
Okay. So, I mean, me and everybody listening to this right now want to know, like, do you have some kind of side deal with the XFL to where you get paid to promote this or what?
Other than the fact that it's good and that I support it and that they've got some rules that the NFL really could use. If I say I'm going to puke the next time I see somebody call a fair catch on the kickoff, that's stupid.
So what does the XFL do instead of a fair catch? What do they do?
They put them up there. They put them up there. You kick it you kick it to the player, and the player runs it back, just like football's supposed to be.
Where do they kick off from?
You have to, I'm not going to sit here and bottle feed y'all. You got to go watch the damn game. There was a great host in Dallas. What was his name? I just went blank. They used to talk. Just go watch the damn game. Trust me. You can watch replays of it. You can
Can
go
you?
find it. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay. Maybe I'll go check it out. Maybe I'll go look. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am being too hard on them, and I need to give them a chance.
Yeah,
We
the instant replay, the kickoffs, the extra points. I would say those are the top three things I can think off the top of my head that are better than what the NFL already does.
Okay, so it sounds like whether I want to or not, I'm gonna get to hear about the XFL in the
We
spring.
are the ball guy and the fat boy will be covering. When I got to figure out how to run this thing bubble gum myself, we'll be covering the XFL.
Okay. I'll give you that. I'll agree to give you that. We can do some XFL stuff when it comes around, but I'm just telling you, I will pull the plug on it if you get me to watch it and it sucks.
Well, we just going to go down that road when we get there. But I'm telling you, it's good football, and they got good innovation.
Okay. All right. So there you go. There's your take on the XFL. We'll see if you're a trailblazer ahead of your time, or if you just bought the hype and it goes away in another year or two. So we'll see. All right.
Well,
So,
you go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. I was just saying, while we're talking about stuff that you're wrong about, did you want to get into this week's picks?
Oh, boy, you're so funny. You're so funny. I give our listeners a model of not what to do when it comes to picking games, and I got to be the one that's wrong. Don't do what I do. That's all you got to
Amen.
do.
Amen. If there's somebody out there putting money on these picks because of how we do it, if you hadn't learned already, we'll just break down the Fat Boys' expertise on gambling. Let's just say on college football, because for the second week in a row, he is over 0. And what was that? 10 games?
Yes, that's 10
It's
games.
10 games. That's oh
I haven't. So like I told you, positivity a while ago. I'm looking at that. Telling my listeners what not to do. Don't do what I think's right.
Oh, I can
And,
spin it positive for you. That's no problem. There is nowhere to go but up for you. It
correct.
cannot be worse. Just you could just throw it out there. But I'm redoing all the way around. I'm changing up my part of this pick segment. Okay. I'm
Okay.
no longer even making them. I'm just gonna ask you what your pick is, and I'm taking the other side. 100%. I don't need to have an opinion. I don't even need to know who's playing. I'm just gonna let you pick it, and I'll take the other side. And I'm gonna
well,
kill this thing.
well, this is definitely your week to do that then, because you're gonna love this week.
Okay. I'm gonna love this week. All right,
You
so
call
let's
them out,
see.
you call them out, and I'll pick them.
Okay. All right. So in college football, we've got your beloved Crimson Tide going to A&M
Kyle Field,
and giving up 2.5 points.
Bama all the way.
Bama all the way. So That's you. I get
Roll,
stuck me with A&M, but that's okay.
yeah, roll damn tide, baby.
Because I could tell you, I did not think that there was any way I would be picking Texas A&M, but there's no way to guarantee them a victory more than you picking Bama. Because you've been off of Bama. You've been off of Bama. You've stayed away from
Well,
them because the spreads were too big and this and that.
I'm back. Well, just forget that. I'm going a different road. I'm going with my
Okay.
heart.
All right. So okay, I got A&M. The next game,
Ooh,
Oklahoma at Texas.
I'm fit to blow you mad. I'm taking
Okay.
Oklahoma all the way.
Oklahoma plus 6.5. You're picking. That's fine because that gives me Texas. I will take that.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up, Maryland at Ohio State. Minus 20 on Ohio State.
Hey, ball guy asked me why I picked this game.
Why'd you pick this game?
One of my best buddies was a big. Other than the Alabama Tide, I've only seen one live game live in my life, and that was Maryland versus versus Clemson. And my buddy, one of my best friends, he's a big Maryland Terrapin fan. So therefore, I picked the Maryland Ohio State game this week, and I'm taking Maryland
Taking Maryland plus 20.
plus 20.
Uh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
You're
All right.
welcome. You're welcome for these. I know what you're doing,
Hey,
ball guy.
it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna see. All right. What we talk about last week? If you show me who you are, I'm gonna believe you. So that's what I've seen so far. This may be my worst week yet. So we'll see.
We'll see.
All right. So Washington State at UCLA minus 3.5.
I'm taking Washington State.
Taking Washington State. That is going to be okay, man. You're giving me the home teams every game so far. All right, so the last one, I don't know why we're picking this one because we figured out that this team isn't that special, but Notre Dame minus 6.5 at Louisville.
This is a number 10 and a number 20 matchup in the rankings, and I'm taking Louisville in the upset.
Louisville plus 6. Okay, so that's your only home team you took in college.
This is my upset pick of the week right here.
You act like college football doesn't even matter where they play at.
Yep, this one. I'm taking Louisville.
Okay, you're taking Louisville. All right, so now we'll move to the big boys.
Yep. Are you going to do it the same way in that?
I'm doing it I am riding with my strategy. My strategy is I don't know in however many years I've been looking at sports lines and games. I don't know as though I've seen anybody be on a worse run than what you're on. So I'm going to ride the run until it's over. So first game, this one's big. Cowboys, 49ers. 49ers are minus 4 at home.
This is going to hurt you.
Okay.
But I'm taking, you're going to have to pick the Niners. I'm taking the Cowboys.
You're taking the Cowboys. Okay. I get the 49ers and minus 4 at home. Okay. I hate you had to do that to our Cowboys. Now that we realize how bad you suck at this, nobody wants to hear you pick the Cowboys. And then there you go.
Tough. The next one, I'm taking the Jags.
Okay, the Jags at the Bills minus 5.5 for the Bills. You're taking the Jags. Hey, a lot of these are kind of working out the way I would have picked them anyway. So it's pretty funny about that. All right, so the Titans at the Colts in a pick 'em.
Yep, I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans.
You're taking the Titans. Again, I'll take the home team in a pick 'em. I mean, they're probably a little underdog if it's pick 'em and they're at home, but that's okay. All right, so the Ravens minus 3.5 at the vaunted Steelers.
Taking the Steelers.
You're taking the Steelers.
Yep.
Man. Steeler defense isn't looking that bad. Okay.
No, they're good.
All right. The Eagles. Here you go. Here's a good one for you. The Eagles minus 4.5 at the Rams. Who are you going with?
It's in California.
Yep.
I'm taking the Rams.
You're taking the Rams. Well, we'll see how that turns out. I think you've managed to do it again.
Well, there you go.
I'm looking at this and I think you've got you're going to be less than 500 on these picks. You're going to be under 500. That's 10 picks. You're going to get less than 5 correct.
Okay, we will see. I'm gonna keep doing it because these are what I think is gonna hit. So that's what
Hey,
I'm going with.
if you can keep this up all year, I don't think you can be this wrong all year. Eventually, something's going to turn and you're going to get some stuff right.
Well, we'll see if this is the week for that.
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm riding my picks just like this until you show me otherwise.
I want to give a small teaser. I've had a buddy reach out to me that has a professional wrestling deal up in Addison, and we're looking into going and doing a maybe a live look in at that around October the 21st. I'm just going to kind of preview that a little bit, kind of put that nugget out there in the air for our listeners that we might do a little teaser for that for my buddies. He's a buddy. This is a buddy deal. He wanted me to come see his wrestling up there in Addison, up in Dallas, and I think me and the ball guy might try to make a trip up there and see it. There's no guarantee something could happen. But we're going to try to do that. So I wanted to kind of put that teaser out there in the air.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Should be interesting. Because I hadn't went and saw wrestling since I was a little guy.
Since you were normal, a
Well,
kid.
yeah, back when the Von Erichs would come and they would come to the Civic Center in the town that I live in, and it was
Well, just not to bury the lead for our listeners. Yes, I know wrestling is scripted drama. But I don't want anybody to think I'm one of them dummies that think it's real. But I do enjoy it. I do watch wrestling pretty much every night of the week. I'm still one of them people. There are a big group of us that do that, and there's a big group of us that don't do that. I just happen to be in the big group that still does that. So maybe there could be a time when this podcast talks a little of that professional wrestling on this podcast, and I don't want any people. I don't want to run anybody off, so I'm kind of giving them a little warning. What did if you don't care for it, you don't have to listen to it. But it's just something that might come up from time to time.
I don't think anybody that's listening is well, first of all, thank you if you're listening. But if they're listening, they're just listening to hear two idiots talk about sports and other stuff. So I don't think you're running anybody off with it.
So I assume you put wrestling in the other stuff category.
I
See,
do not consider wrestling a sport, if that's what you're asking. Yes.
that's yes. See, for some of us, I just call it a scripted sport, or you just call it other stuff, which is
It's
fine.
I call it entertainment. I call it entertainment.
Yes. Well, you sound like Mr. McMahon.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
they changed the name of WWE to be entertainment. Okay.
just because they changed the name, don't make it right.
Okay.
Charlie, the ball guy.
Okay.
So, is there anything else sports related that we need to discuss?
I don't think so. I mean, we've just about covered what do we got? I mean, we could talk about the Ryder Cup if you want to, but the Americans
Whoa.
killed, so I don't see any reason to bring that up.
Yeah, they're buried. They're dead and buried. Why would we talk about that?
Yeah,
They're, they're still having the funeral march for that poor squad.
that was
I
horrible.
love
That was
I
horrible.
love golf. Me and you both love golf,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that goes without saying. And it was for me, and we even liked some of the Europeans. Um, but watching the U.S. versus the Europeans, it was like the difference between night and day in that deal.
Yeah, I don't really know why the Americans are so bad at the Ryder Cup. I really don't. It's back here in a couple years. So
Yeah,
uh so we'll see if we do any better on home soil. Hopefully,
right.
I really think the whole live PGA thing hurt that. And I think now that they're kind of merging back together or whatever they're gonna do, I think opening it back up to everybody will strengthen the Ryder Cup team.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the next showing of world basketball and world golf, or at least us, the Ryder Cup golf, America makes a better showing in both of those whenever it comes back up.
And and just so for our listeners, they will when we get to it, we will as hockey gets going more into their seasons and basketball gets going into their seasons, we will be bringing those sports into our talking points as well.
Yeah, yeah, we'll bring up whatever's going on and interesting at the time, because
Right.
the Stars have been good, the Mavericks have been good. I mean, I think this will be a big year for both of them. So as we get to running through the seasons, like you said, it's
Yes.
going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
And
But
don't forget, and just so you know, don't forget the XFL. We got it coming too.
okay, so that's it for the Ball Guy, the Fat Boy podcast this week. Y'all tune in next week. We'll get another episode coming at you.
Roll Tide.